Anastasia Forrest with eXp Realty. I'm a broker associate and realtor in the St. Augustine, Florida area, and I would like to welcome you back to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking with you about the pros and cons of condo life. But before I get into it, I want to go ahead and invite you to subscribe to my channel. You knew that was coming, but you know you want to do it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please, and I'll get on into the topic. Okay, the joys, the woes of living in a condo. I'm going to talk all about that today. Let's start with the joys, the pros, the great things. One of the really wonderful things about living in a condo community is that maintenance-free lifestyle. You know what I'm talking about. You don't feel like patching a roof. You don't feel like mowing a lawn or fixing some siding on the side of your house. Well, if you live in a condo, you're not going to have to, because the HOA, the Homeowners Association, is going to take care of that for you. So whether you're just not the maintenance type, or you've got a busy lifestyle, you don't have time, you're older and you just don't have the ability, any of these things, having a maintenance-free, place to live can be amazing. And especially here in Florida, where we have this wonderful vacation destination, a lot of people that own condos here are people that frequently travel. They're in that retirement phase in their life, and they just come and go as they please. So that's one really wonderful thing, is not having to worry about that maintenance. Another pro of living in a condo is the amenities. Okay, if you live in a single-family home in a non-HOA community, you're not going to have access, unless you got your own private pool, you're not going to have access to a pool or tennis courts or, a clubhouse to go congregate and have meetings and things like that. But if you live in an HOA community, oftentimes you're going to have access to all of these things and potentially more. Here in Florida, swimming pool is a huge thing, so having access to a swimming pool or splash pad can be great. Also, you've got this clubhouse, and oftentimes there'll be events like card games and crafts and get-togethers and all kinds of stuff. So it depends on where you're buying, but having access to an association that offers these amenities can be absolutely amazing. Oh, also, if security is important to you, a lot of the condos in this area are protected by a gate and or a security guard. So either way, there's security. Not just anybody can come and go into your community. Another pro about living in a condo is the master insurance policy. So instead of worrying about insuring an entire building, which obviously you're not, the entire building's not your responsibility, they're going to just give you this master insurance policy that's included in your monthly fees, basically. And the master insurance policy is going to cover any damage from the drywall out. As far as insuring anything from the drywall in, you can purchase separate personal insurance, which is often referred to as contents insurance, and your mortgage company may require you to do this. The last, but definitely not least pro I'm going to talk about is price. Condos are generally less expensive than single-family homes. And you'll see this if you look in different places, but since I'm in St. Augustine, I'm going to talk about here. Generally, right now, to get a house under $300,000 is very, very hard. It's not super common, and if you are able to get a hold of a house for under $300,000, it's generally going to need repairs and updates, and it's going to need some kind of something. But you can get a ready-to-go turnkey condo for under $300,000. So, at this time, condos are more affordable than single-family homes, generally speaking. All right, now that we've talked about some of the really great stuff about owning a condo, let's talk about the stuff that's not so great, maybe. The first thing I'm going to talk about are HOA fees. This is obvious. Every month there's a fee, and that fee in this area, I've seen HOA fees as low as around $100 and as much as like $500, $600 in some more fancy oceanfront communities. So it does range, but it is another monthly expense that you're going to have to budget for, and not everybody wants to worry about that every month for the rest of their life. Feeding right into that and out of that, we're going to talk about special assessments. Okay, so where does that HOA money go? Let's talk about that first. The HOA money goes into some budgets, and these are generally an operating budget and a reserves budget. The operating budget covers those everyday general expenses, maintenance stuff that we talked about, like taking care of the yard, repairs, stuff like that. The reserves budget, however, is for more expensive unforeseen events. Like, for example, imagine your condo community has a dock and the dock starts falling apart and the HOA decides, oh, it's time for us to fix that. Well, if there's not enough money in the reserves budget, then the funds are going to have to come from somewhere, and where they come from is a special assessment, which is charged to the owners of the condo. So you'd be responsible to pay an extra fee on top of your HOA fee to cover the cost of that major repair. Okay, another con about living in a condo is pretty obvious, but we should definitely address it. There's going to be less privacy. When you're in a single family home, you've got a yard, you could have a fence, you've got your own building. When you live in a condo, you're sharing a building with other human beings. And sometimes you can hear other human beings. Sometimes you may be able to hear somebody walking above your head. Sometimes you might hear an argument next door. It depends on the place and how thick the walls are and how loud the shoes are, I suppose, that the person is wearing. But this is something to keep in mind. There's less privacy. You don't have your own yard. You're not going to be fenced off. So if you're like a super private person, this could be tough for you. Finally, rules and restrictions. Yes, people love to hate HOAs, and largely for this reason. HOAs can have some pretty strict rules and regulations. Everything from what you can do with your yard, maybe you can't have a sign in your yard, can't have a grill on your patio, to the size of your pets. They may say, oh, your pets can only be 15 pounds, you can't have any aggressive breeds. It depends. Every community has their own rules, and that is why it is so important when you're considering buying a condo to review the rules and regulations of that community very carefully, so you're well aware and not surprised once you own it and learn something you didn't know. But there's an upside to this, right? Your place is going to look nice. Your yard and your grounds are going to look good because everybody's following the same rules. People aren't allowed to just do whatever they want. And, if you're worried about an aggressive breed, well, now you don't have to worry about that. So there's an upside to everything. But if you're a very rebellious person who really wants to do everything, isn't good with being told what to do, HOA community may not be for you. So anyway, I hope that this video has been helpful in giving you some stuff to think about as far as whether to buy a condo or a home. And I'm here if you have any other questions. I already said my name, but I'm Anastasia, and my number is 904-501-7924, and I'm happy to help you. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.